What is up, everybody? My name is Anthony. This is VR 365. Yes, VR 365 is basically VR gaming news and discussion 365 days a year. We do it live on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And we do it live on YouTube on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. That is 7 days a week. Can you believe it? We do this crap 7 days a week. Like, who would do that? You got to be out of your mind. But that's why we call it VR 365, because we are banging at you 365 days of the year. So I believe we're live. I'm not seeing anybody in chat yet, and I hope we're live. Anyway, I think we're live, so I'm just going to assume that we are live, and we'll continue to move on from there. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to our first news story of the day. And so our first news story of the day actually is Oculus Quest, man. The floodgates are open. So let me go ahead and grab a little bit of an Oculus Quest trailer to talk about this really quick. Let's see here. Oculus Quest. There we go. Yeah, so, for the Oculus Quest, one of the things that we've been wondering in regards to the Oculus Quest, we've been wondering, when will the floodgates open? Because you have this original window of launch games, and you have all the launch games come out. You have a launch window, and then a little while after that, you're going to start to slowly trickle out new game releases, and they are definitely starting to trickle. Games are starting to come to the Oculus Quest with pretty much reckless abandon now. Just today, do you know how many games released today for the Oculus Quest? Okay, so Penn and Teller VR, it is available today on the Oculus Quest. Sariento VR Untethered is available today on the Oculus Quest. Fuji is available today on the Oculus Quest. Also available on a lot of other platforms as well. Richie's Plank Experience, available today on the Oculus Quest, and also Anne Frank House VR, which is an educational experience that is 100% free. That is also available on the Oculus Quest today. So we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, basically like 5 different experiences, 5 different things have hit the Oculus Quest today, which that is pretty impressive. Okay, so we do have some people that have popped into chat just recently. Now I got to get my chat popped out into the right spot here. But yeah, we do have, is Penn and Teller cross-buy? I don't think so. It should be. It absolutely should be. But we do have a lot of games. Let's actually go over here. Let me get my webinar uploaded here, and let's check out. Oh man, I just screwed something up. I accidentally deleted something that I wasn't supposed to do. Okay, hold on. Oculus Quest experiences. Because you know what? Let's go over here and let's just see what's going on the store, the Oculus Quest store. There's actually a lot going on here. So let's bounce over to the webinar. Here we are. Okay, finally got it up and running here. And we can go to new releases. Let's go to new releases and see what has been coming to the Oculus Quest very recently. And okay, so it started today. Penn and Teller VR, it is $20. F-U, you, and you. All of you, F-U. That game is available today for $20. Sariento VR Untethered, available for $15. Fuji by Funktronic Labs. This is kind of a chill out, gardening, relaxation kind of a deal, I guess. I don't know. This is $15. Richie's Plank Experience is $15, and Anne Frank House VR is absolutely free. And it's awesome that we're going to get stuff like Anne Frank House VR. This is really cool that we're going to get stuff like this, because you know what? The Oculus Quest needs as many experiences as possible, in my opinion. Then we got like a Showtime app, Showtime Anytime. Tokyo Chronos, this came out a couple of days ago. Let me look on this and see, when did it come out? Okay, so this was June 19th. So it's been a little while since Tokyo Chronos came out. And of course, Puppet Fever, which is also free. Puppet Fever is June 13th. That was like one of the first things that came out. Swords of Gargantua and the Wizards. Both of those came out. And of course, Electronauts. These were all since the launch. So there's been stuff that has been trickling out, especially today. Today was a real explosion. And I guess Thursday seems to be Oculus Quest Day. It kind of seems to be a thing. Like a lot of games seem to be coming out on Thursday for the Oculus Quest for whatever reason. Normally Tuesday is like your release day, but Thursday seems to be pretty popular for the Oculus Quest. Republic, that is a pre-order. That is coming up on July 25th. And so a lot of action is going on over here on the Oculus side of the coin. But the one thing I wanted to talk about really quick before I moved off of this, I just want to talk about like experiences and the Oculus Quest. And I wanted to say that if we go back to some of the interviews and stuff that we've heard from Oculus back in the beginning, a lot of times Oculus was saying that the Oculus Go is 80% like movies, video, stuff like that, and 20% gaming, and that the Quest was going to be the exact opposite. That the Quest was going to be 80% gaming and 20% videos, movies, experience, like non-game stuff, right? So 80-20. And I remember when I was first hearing that from Oculus, and I was like, what? Why? Dude, no, you need a lot of experiences. There should be a lot of awesome experiences on the Oculus Quest. Why? Well, it's quite simple, actually. The Oculus Quest is something that is going mass market. You know, it's out there for the mass market, and you're going to have soccer moms. You're going to have Joe Walmarts. You're going to have your average Billy Bob that is going to want to pick one of these things up, and they might not be a gamer, but they might really be into these experiences. And so I think you need to have a lot of them. And there's a lot of great experiences that are on the Oculus Rift that it would be incredibly awesome if they came over to the Quest. And hopefully we see a lot more of this, a lot more of it. I really believe a lot of the best experiences, it'd be awesome if a lot of the best ones could be converted over to the Quest. I think that would be sweet. And I'm glad this is free. And there's a lot of good free stuff that's on the Quest as well. I mean, think of all the free stuff we got. Like, we could probably look according to prices or something, and there's a lot of free stuff. Like, if we look at, go down here, where we'll browse all of them, see all, and then maybe we could sort by price. Price, low to high. Yeah, let's do low to high. And, well, it's not showing us the free ones. That sucks. Okay, or wait, here's all the free ones at the bottom. So, you know, I mean, we got a free Journey of the Gods demo, big screen beta, that is free. Poker Stars VR is free. Epic Roller Coasters is free. You got a lot of little video apps that are free. First Contact is free. Netflix, which is absolutely mission critical to have that and for that to work good, that is free. Rec Room, which I finally got into Rec Room. And I actually was exploring Rec Room on my Oculus Quest, walking around, checking stuff out, having a little bit of problems in some of the different rooms I was in. I went into paintball, and man, how awesome is it that this is, like, somebody could pick up an Oculus Quest and literally not pay any money for anything, and there would still be quite a few things they could play. They could actually get by for a little bit. I mean, they could play all these different demos until they just couldn't stand it anymore. They got the Creed demo, Bait is free, Sports Scramble demo. You know, you got stuff like Epic Roller Coasters, you got Rec Room. and just a lot of little demos, Poker Stars, big screen, freaking VR chat, VR chat, BOGO, First Steps, Space Pirate Trainer demo, stuff like Puppet Fever that is also free, Beat Saber demo is free. So a lot of stuff, man. If somebody just wanted to like freeload their way, they could do it. They could actually get away with it. So that is cool. The other thing, actually, you know what? Let's go back. Let's go back to where we just were here, though. Because the other thing about this is, let me see, can I just go? Oh, no. The other thing about this, though, is like we're starting to notice some pricing situations here when it comes to the Oculus Quest. I've talked about this a million times, but let's click back in here and let's get back to the prices. So we're going to go low to high. So low to high. But looking at the prices, when we look at games, it seems like $15. 15 bucks is the cutoff point. Ballista, 15 bucks. Richie's Plank Experience, 15 bucks. Space Pirate Trainer, 15 bucks. Republic is going to be 15 bucks. Ultra Wings, 15 bucks. Drop Dead, Keep Talking, Fuji, Fruit Ninja. It goes on and on. Sariento Today, Angry Birds, 15 bucks. So a lot of 15 bucks experiences, no games under $15. I don't personally consider Vader Immortal a game, and that is not under $15, but a lot of releases have happened today, so that is definitely in the news. Okay, let's go ahead and go back over here to our standard scene, and let's see, I need to pop that chat out and get chat into the mix over here. Okay, so we have Laser Rob in the building, VR Spry Guy, Paradise Decay, Conquer Reality, Hyperion, iPad, Carry, MG, MH, Mate 9, something like that, Roxer, LBA, and the 1X1 Xbox One. Check this out, guys. Speaking of Xbox, we've got breaking news. There is breaking news about Xbox. Let's go to, let me go to the Oculus Rift subreddit here and see if I can find, there is some talk about Xbox, and oh my goodness, and it's rendered reality related. It's actually, if I can find it here, now I can't find it, but I know that there's some talk about the Xbox and the Oculus Rift. But I'm scrolling through here. Oh, here it is. Latest Xbox Scarlet rumor. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to the webinar. And so here it is right here. Latest Xbox Scarlet rumor is that it'll support Oculus Rift S, that a possible Microsoft and Oculus collaboration is going to happen. Okay, so if we click on the actual story, let's go back and click onto this. Let's click onto this actual story. It actually goes to a story at website VR Focus. Now, I got to tell you, not the hugest fan of VR Focus, but oh well, there's where beggars can't be choosers. That's something my mom would always say. Beggars can't, like if you're begging for something and you're like, no, I want this. My mom would be like, beggars can't be choosers. You're freaking begging for something, so you can't be too choosy about it. So I kind of think about that when I think about some of the websites we have. Maybe, eventually we'll probably have some better websites, right? But anyway, this is the latest Xbox Scarlet rumor is it'll support Oculus Rift S. So many pinches of salt with this one. Yeah, this is one of the more clickbaity stories you'll ever see. But the crazy thing about this is like, okay, where is this clickbait coming from? It's coming from the Coffee and VR podcast. Our boys at Rendered Reality, Sean and Tyler, they've made the big time. Holy smokes, look at this. The rumor comes from the lads over at the Coffee and VR podcast, who were told by a trusted source on their Discord channel that there could be a tie-in between Project Scarlet and Oculus Rift S. Nothing's been confirmed in any way, shape, or form. And they mentioned that, basically, so this is a rumor, right? So check this out. So let's go ahead and go back over here. So what did I do? I went ahead and grabbed a video clip from that exact episode of Coffee and VR. Let's check this clip out, man. Let's hear what they're saying on this clip. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to this mode right here. and I'm going to turn up the volume. I'll turn up the volume here, and I'm going to throw on a rendered reality clip, and let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so hold on a second. Let's run this clip.
So we've heard through the grapevine, over on our Discord actually, from somebody we do trust, that there may be a tie between Microsoft and Oculus, and that they are going to bring the Rift S to the next gen Xbox on the Scarlet, Project Scarlet, I guess you would call it. And I just 100% hope this happens, because, oh man, I'll lose it.
He's got some good inside sources too, that he said, that this is going to happen.
He's not confirmed.
Not 100% confirming, but basically saying it's going to happen. Like he said, this is basically going to be the mic drop for Microsoft and Oculus against Sony's PSVR that they are having a lot of success with. And it makes sense. I mean, it has, so we know that the Project Scarlet has a DisplayPort adapter, connector, whatever on there. Yep. And right now there's no TVs that are available with the DisplayPort.
Right.
And
exactly.
The Rift S has a DisplayPort, and it makes perfect sense because they have teamed up before.
And a USB 3 on it too.
Right, and the original Xbox or the original Rift came with an Xbox controller. That was the original one before, you came as a package with the touch controllers.
So they've worked together.
They have worked together.
Exactly.
And it makes sense because
we said that forever.
Yeah.
Why didn't they? We thought it was going to happen the second Oculus said we're going to include an Xbox controller with your Rift. We thought, boom, it's going to Xbox.
Yeah, that's what we actually held off for a little while buying PCVR because we're like, oh, well, we're going to get it on the Xbox. I want to wait for it to come to the Xbox, and it never did.
Okay, yeah, that is the clip, and wow, pretty interesting right here. The funniest thing about it, though, the funniest thing about this rumor here is I got to be honest and say that if I went to this website, right, and I was checking up on this rumor, and I'm like, oh, there's some rumor that the new Xbox is going to hook up with Oculus, and it's going to support the Oculus Rift S. And so if I looked this up, and let's say it was some random like YouTube podcast I never ever heard of, I didn't know who the people were, I probably would have got up on here and talked mad smack and be like, who the hell are these people? What do they know? But no, these are two guys I know. This is rendered reality. This is Stangerism. This is Schmitty. I mean, this is Sean and Tyler of Rendered Reality, the Coffee and VR guys. Great channel that they've got going on over there. They've done some great things, and they've grown incredibly quickly, really fast. Like, damn, if only my channel could have grown as fast as theirs did when they got up and running. But yeah, so if this was like some rando podcaster person, I probably would have been like really going on a rant here. But basically, I don't know if Sean or Tyler happen to be in chat right now. It doesn't look like either one of them are in chat at this time. But what I'm really curious about is who is this person on Discord that they were talking to? Because, I mean, the cynical part of me will go to this little thought process right here, is that you go into your random GameStop, right? And there will be a GameStop manager. Like, you'll be talking to the GameStop manager, and he'll be like, yeah, Sony bought Nintendo, and PlayStation 5 is going to have Mario on it. When PlayStation 5 comes out in November, it's going to have Super Mario PlayStation Edition, man. Sony bought Nintendo. You didn't hear about it? I mean, you'll hear, like, crazy shit, right? And so the point I'm trying to make here is, does Sean and Tyler know, like, is this person, like, does this person work for Xbox? Does this person work for Oculus? Does this person, how would this person find out any kind of information like this? Because this is very privileged information. Anybody can come up with a random rumor. Now, they said that this guy has like some insight, or they know that this guy like knows things, or I don't know if it's a guy, a girl, or whoever it is, whoever this person is that is kind of a trusted source. I'm going to have to go out on a limb here. I just have to go out on a limb, and I have to say that this seems incredibly hard for me to believe. Like, I don't see a logical idea here for why this pairing would happen, because these are competitors in the same field. Like, so when you think about Microsoft and when you think about Facebook, both of these companies do not have their own smartphone platform. And Microsoft is really disappointed that they completely missed out on the entire smartphone revolution. Like, they're not a part of it at all. Like, their operating system, the Windows Phone operating system never freaking worked out for them. They never had a phone that ever sold. Facebook, that wasn't their bag, so obviously, but they're on all the phones. But all of these companies like Facebook, Microsoft, they're interested in the exact same thing. The thing that Facebook and Microsoft want, they want to own a freaking ecosystem, and they want to have a walled garden, and in the next computing platform, the next mobile platform, if it's AR or VR or whatever, they want to be a part of that, and they want to own that, and they want to have their own walled garden. And Facebook wants its own walled garden, and Microsoft wants its own walled garden. So why would they connect? There's no logic here. This doesn't compute. Okay, so I mean, let's think, like rationally think about it, work it out, and think about this aspect of it. Okay, so what does Microsoft gain in this trade? Because if you can put your Rift S on an Xbox, whatever they're going to call this thing, the Scarlet, whatever they end up calling it, if you can connect your Rift S to this new Xbox, what are you going to so you're going to just go into like the Oculus store? Like, it's going to connect you to the Oculus store? Like, so Oculus just gets all the money? Like what does Microsoft get out of this deal? And if it doesn't go to the Oculus store, what incentive does Oculus have to hook up with Xbox and have this headset work with Xboxes? Like, if it doesn't go to I don't know. I just don't think this doesn't work out. Now, I know there was, like, early on, there were rumors about this. There was some talk about this, that, the Oculus might work with the Xbox, and most of that was based around the Xbox controller and the fact that they kind of hooked up before. The Xbox controller was in the box with the original Oculus Rift. So they've had a partnership before. But this doesn't really compute. Now, if I try to spin it and I try to spin up an idea on how this could possibly make a modicum of sense, the only way I can spin it is, look, I know Xbox, one of the reasons they've avoided VR as much as humanly possible, like Xbox has completely tried to stay away from VR, and they've successfully done that. And a big part of the reason they've done that, in my personal opinion, is support. It's the support. That's the reason. Well, support is really huge. They don't want to deal with the support headache that would come with a VR headset that is hooked up to an Xbox. Because remember, guys, Xbox is Joe and Sally Walmart like a mofo. And the Xbox is in the living room. And there are wires everywhere. And grandma's sitting over there on the couch. And your dog is laying over there. And you got a little baby crawling across the floor. And you really want to have a wire? By the way, speaking of babies, actually, I wanted to say congratulations to James McLaughlin on his newborn baby girl. This happened in chat yesterday. And I didn't notice when it was happening. But yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. James McLaughlin. Oh my God, he's got a newborn baby girl. That is going to be awesome. It's going to be crazy for him, but it's going to be awesome. A brand new father, and it was just Father's Day recently. So just wanted to give a shout out real quick right there. But the only kind of advantage I can see here is, okay, so if Xbox were to have the Rift S work with this new Xbox system, the idea would be is that they could offload the support to Oculus, I guess. You know, that would be the idea. They offload the support to Oculus. Also, they don't have to hire a million studios to make VR games because they would have the entire library that Oculus has. But there would have to be some kind of revenue share. Like why would Microsoft do this? There would have to be some kind of revenue share. So if Oculus gets 30% for every game that is sold in the Oculus store, it would have to be like a 15-15 share or something like that, because why would Xbox do this? I just do not. If this happens, I mean, it'll be an occasion where I was just completely off the mark because I was not expecting this. And I absolutely was. If this actually happens, this is one of the cases where, Anthony's wrong. Anthony didn't know what he was talking about this. Because this does not compute for me. It doesn't work for me. Because both of these companies want the same thing. They want their own walled garden. The only way this would make any kind of sense at all is if Microsoft was simply looking to offload the VR problem, their VR problem that they have, because it is a problem. Eventually they have to support VR. Eventually they have to have studios make some VR games. And they've bought up a whole bunch of studios that actually do have experience making VR games, so they can kind of start that in the background. Eventually they're going to have to do this. They're going to have studios working on VR games, and they're going to have a headset, and they're going to have support for it. And these are things, none of those things, they want to do them. They don't want to do any of those. And so if they brought Oculus in, the upshot for Microsoft is you're offloading your support headache to them. You get, the 1-800 number just goes to Oculus. They handle the support. Xbox has nothing to do with the support of that. They offload it to Oculus, and the game support. My cat is pissed because she's hungry. Hold on one second. I'm going to have to let my cat out. So let me just throw on a trailer. Damn it. My cat is causing a problem. She's still in this room, and this is her normal dinner time. And she's like, dude. So she's like jumping all over the place. Pretty soon she's going to be scratching me live on camera. But oh well. Yeah, if Anthony is wrong, he'll eat an Xbox controller. Hell no. Yeah, my cat is right there. Kitty, you want to come on air? You want to talk to the guys? Okay, so let's go back over here to our standard scene. But yeah, that's Coffee in VR. That is the rumor. Unfortunately, we don't have either of the rendered reality guys in chat. Otherwise, we could go to them and ask them. I'm going to have one of these guys on again. Actually, both of them, but one of them at a time. I want to, there's a lot of interviews I want to do. And I'd like to interview both Sean and Tyler by themselves, just to kind of delve into their back history and get their take individually. So I definitely want to have both of them on again. There's so many different interviews that I want to do in the very near future. And those two guys are definitely part of it. Okay, let's see. What other news stories do we have going on? Oh my God, I forgot to bring up some hilarious shit. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to the webinar. And let's go to YouTube. And I got to show you guys something that made me laugh like a mofo. Okay, so this is back on YouTube. Okay, so let's go to MRTV. Oops, MRTV. Yeah, let's go to MRTV. Okay, here we go. Look at this thumbnail. Holy shizzles. Look at that thumbnail, guys. Sharp enough? Oh, man, that is a freaking classic. So I forget what I was watching. I was watching somebody's VR video about something, right? And then this little MRTV Sharp Enough, it was like over there on the side as another video to go to. And I saw it and I was like, Sharp Enough? Oh man, that is freaking awesome. Because do you guys remember when MRTV had, let's look at his videos. MRTV, damn, he's got 46,000 subs. That fool is balling out of control. Hold on, let's go ahead and mute this. But oh wait, this is some other MRTV. That is the wrong MRTV. That one has 46,000 subs. Let's go to this MRTV. He's got 29, or let's see, he's got 25,000 subs. So he's doing really quite well. But if we go to videos, just to look at thumbnails, okay, because this was the most hilarious one right there. That one made me laugh like you wouldn't believe. King, question mark. Like, here's the new king. The Vive Cosmos is the new king. That just had me rolling on the ground laughing about it. But then he outdone himself. Sharp enough? Like, is this shit sharp enough? Is an extra 100 lines of resolution going to cut the mustard? Oh man, I thought that was absolutely classic when I saw that title, Sharp Enough. And Slayblaze says, sharp enough? I think not. Hussein X, I believe it's Hussein X, is saying Oculus doesn't have flat gaming market. Xbox doesn't have established VR. Okay, so you're talking peanut butter and chocolate, right? Yeah, dude, Oculus doesn't have a flat gaming market, and they're not going to. You think Xbox is going to say, yeah, come have a bunch of our flat gaming market. We'll give you a free percentage of every game that is sold on the Scarlet. Hell no, they ain't going to do that. So Oculus ain't getting no flat game market. So that doesn't work out. Yeah, it is Hussein X. Okay, I thought Hussein X had that one there. Okay, see, need to just put on like a little random trailer here as my cat continues to get pissed off. Okay, let's go to the next news. But dude, that MRTV thumbnail, oh man, that was hilarious. Sharp enough. I love that. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna open the door real quick so my cat will run out of this room. Otherwise, she's gonna cause major havoc. Hold on 1 second. Be right back. Alrighty, that way we don't have to worry about Fat, my cat. My cat was causing some real problems. Yeah, catastrophe in progress. Dude, I had to get her out of here because she was about to knock down one of these monitors or something, or she was going to like disconnect my microphone or accidentally turn the power off or God knows what. So I had to deal with that. Okay, but yeah, that was the MRTV thing. I did think that was funny. Okay, let's see, what else did I want to get into? Well, you know what? Why don't we bounce over to Upload VR real quick, and we can check out some of the biggest news stories of the day. So, not a lot of news stories. Like, it's kind of funny. We go over to Upload VR, and we're not seeing a ton of big news stories. So they still have, like, this is basically from yesterday, Valve Index pre-launch live. Okay, well, I guess they're still doing it. So I guess this is new live stream stuff. Aperture Hand Labs has been updated for Oculus Touch players. Now, this was one of the stories here. Borderlands 2 VR. You might remember, see, if you guys watch VR 365, you've heard about this like a week ago. Like, I think it was like last Saturday. Yeah, this was, if you go back to last Saturday's episode of our show, or it's been like a full week at least, I talked about Borderlands 2 VR was rated by the ESRB. The PC version of it was rated by the ESRB. We talked about this. So Borderlands 2 VR is headed our way. And you know, the funny thing about it is if you go to vrgamerankings.com and if you go to the most wanted charts, do you know for months and months and months, we've had Borderlands 2 VR as a July release. A July 2019 release as coming this next month that is coming up real quick, coming up in July. We've had Borderlands 2 as a July release for all this time. And you know what? I think it's going to happen. I think it really is going to happen. So I believe Borderlands 2 VR is imminent. Within the next couple of weeks, it will arrive. Whether it ends up on like Epic Game Store or something like that, that is a whole nother question entirely. But yeah, that's in the news a little bit, but we've already covered that quite a bit. Okay, so one of the biggest releases of the day is absolutely Fuji, because this is coming to us from Funktronic Labs. These are the guys behind Cosmic Trip. These are the guys behind Star Bear Taxi. Relatively decent developer, pretty solid developer. Okay, so Jamie Feltham of Upload VR, he did review this. Now, he reviewed it on the Quest. It is also, of course, available on Steam, and it is on the Oculus Store as well. And I believe the game is $15 everywhere. And so the positives, soothing visuals and cathartic atmosphere. I like that, cathartic, okay? Intuitive interactions that bring the world to life. Unique, persistent garden feature. Negatives. Far too light on content, some aspects feel too streamlined, and the length undermines the gardening component. So yeah, so kind of a mixed bag here, but the good news is we're talking about a $15 thing here, so not ridiculously expensive. The final say, they're basically saying, you know, it's worth checking this out. Like, this is something that probably will appeal to a certain type of person that's looking for a more chilled out kind of experience. For example, one of these sentences right here, still, you could do far worse for VR palate cleansers. That's the thing. Every once in a while in VR, you need a palate cleanser. And Fuji could potentially be a palate cleanser. But you know, the one sentence of this entire review that really stuck out at me was this one right here. He says, for all its vibrancy, the game often feels like it's circling the rabbit hole rather than tumbling down it. Yeah, that sounds like it's like scratching the surface of something interesting, but it never gets into the interesting thing that you think it might be scratching the surface of. Like, it's kind of like a tease. It's almost like they got something here, but it just didn't quite happen. But I don't know. Maybe I would play this game and I'd fall madly in love with it. I have no freaking idea. But that is Fuji. It is a big release today. Today is actually a pretty big day. A lot of stuff has come out today. For example, Penn and Teller VR. I mean, that's obviously over there on Steam, and a lot of people are buying, or well, I don't know if they're buying that game, but that's a pretty big game as well. And that's pretty much it in terms of the stories that we got going on here over at Upload VR. Let's take a quick look at Road VR. You know, Firewall 0 Hour. I've heard that they've kind of fixed this game quite a bit, so that's good news. Penn and Teller. Penn and Teller is available on the Quest. Yeah, I mentioned that already, but it's kind of surprising that it's just bam, boom, it's out on the Quest. DisplayPort 2.0, that was announced, and it's going to support dual 4K VR displays at 120 hertz each. That's pretty cool. But you know, the funny thing about it, not 144 hertz each. So like if the Valve Index somehow had 4K for each eye and it went up to 144 hertz, I guess DisplayPort 2.0 wouldn't support that. So, you know, we still do have limitations at this point in time. I haven't checked this one out, so I probably should check that out more in depth and get back to it later. But let me see what some of my stories were. Let's go back over here to our standard scene real quick. Well, you know, one thing I did want to mention real quick, this is just kind of a side note, but it has to do with playing Oculus Quest games. So let me go ahead and grab a different trailer here real quick. Hold on one sec. Let's see, Journey. Let me find it. Just a quick little thing I wanted to mention about playing games on your Oculus Quest, kind of like a public service announcement for playing games on your Oculus Quest. Okay, so see this game right here? This is Journey of the Gods. And I've been playing this game a little bit on my Oculus Rift, my Oculus Quest in the background. Like when I go to my Oculus Quest to play a game, like if I'm going to kind of chill out and I'm going to play a Quest game, I'm pretty much firing up Journey of the Gods. I'm trying to work my way through this game, and I've been enjoying myself. It's a pretty good game, and I'm working my way through it, right? But one of the things I got to say about it is for a lot of it, I was playing it without my headphones. I was just using my headset. I was just using the built-in speakers. I was not using my headphones. And I was having a pretty good experience playing this game. And then I forget what happened, but I decided to pop in my headphones. And you know what? It's a completely different ball game, man. So here's my public service announcement for anybody out there with an Oculus Quest. If you're going to play a serious action adventure, kind of like a story game, a game that you're really going through, plug in some headphones, man. Get the full, total experience. Like Journey of the Gods. Let's just listen into this trailer. I don't know if there's going to be somebody talking. But the audio is really good. The sound quality is great. Journey of the Gods is a very impressive game. And, you know, this kind of like movie soundtrack that is going on, the bass, the rumbling, all of that, Like I really, like I was battling a boss monster and I had my headphones on and stuff was, you know, being shot at me and I was running around and I was like firing my arrows and stuff. And it was just it was a night and day experience. So use your headphones, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you're playing something like for 15, 20 minutes and you're just playing a little quickie game, and if you've already experienced it a bunch of times and you've already had that initial impressive, powerful experience, maybe you don't need the headphones. But I think when you're experiencing it for the first time, I think you're really missing out if you're not using the headphones there. So just wanted to mention that as far as the headphones go. Another little tidbit we can talk about is Accounting Plus. So Accounting Plus has been confirmed for the Oculus Quest. I'm not sure if there was a date on this. I didn't write down the date. It might be like July 5th or something. Let me see if I can double check on the date. But yeah, I know Accounting Plus is coming to the Oculus Quest. So that has been confirmed. That is another upcoming game for the Quest. Let me see if I can find the date real quick. Accounting Plus and Oculus Quest trailer. Yeah, so I didn't grab the trailer, but is there a date on it? It says, I can confirm that it will be. Okay, so it is going to have cross-buy, and it's $12 on the Oculus Rift store, but we don't know exactly what... it's $12 on the Oculus Rift store. Let me see if it shows like the date that it's coming at the very end of this trailer here. Now supporting Valve Index, 60% off. It's kind of showing it. Oh, 4th of July. Wait. Accounting Plus on Oculus Quest, 4th of July. Okay, so Accounting Plus is going to be on Oculus Quest 4th of July. So that is next Thursday, I believe, right? So next Thursday, Accounting Plus is going to be hitting the Oculus Quest. So that is in the news as well. Now we could talk a little bit about some Valve Index impressions. Let me go ahead and throw on a Valve Index trailer real quick. So yeah, the Valve Index is out there. A lot of people are getting their hands on the Valve Index. In fact, Gary, Reckoner VR, he's gotten his Valve Index and he's jumped into it, but he's only been in there for a short period of time. Fluke has his Valve Index. Is Fluke still in chat right now? Let me see. I'm not seeing Fluke in chat. Maybe he was in chat earlier. But anyway, Vertigo 2 trailer is out now. Oh, there's a brand new Vertigo 2 trailer? Because I was just talking about Vertigo 2 the other day. Let me see if I can grab the Vertigo 2 trailer. Like no one was talking about Vertigo 2 for the longest time. Oh, cool. A reveal trailer just 1 hour ago. Sweet. I'm going to grab this trailer and we can all check it out. So copy and throw that into this so we can grab it. Okay, yeah. So a bunch of people are getting their Valve Indexes. People in the United States. A lot of people in the UK. In fact, a lot of people in the UK are getting their Valve Index. And there's some people here in the good US of A that are a little bit pissed off about it. In fact, Steve from VR Roundtable is like, bro, what is going on here? I don't have my shipping confirmation. This is bull crap. But yeah, let's get into the Valve Index thing in just a minute. I want to go to this Vertigo 2 trailer because this is brand new. So let's go ahead and grab this Vertigo 2 trailer and check it out real quick. And we'll come back and talk about Vertigo 2 and talk about Valve Index. And, you know, the timing for this Vertigo 2 trailer makes a lot of sense because this could be hitting... Oh, shit, it's on Steam, too? Oh, shit. Is this going to be, like, out really soon? Oh, my God, this is crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and check this out.
This is what I've been looking forward to.
Behold the nature of the universe. Behold the nature of our faith. We channel the power of the ancient God whose vitality lights our world. But it is not enough.
New weapon acquired.
Lazy child, I have told you many times that I want the fruit, but you do not bring me the fruit, so I tell you not once again, Mr. Lord, I fear you.
Cool. A free demo on July 16th. So we do have a free demo that is coming up in the not too distant future for Vertigo 2. This, of course, is by Zalubu Productions, and let's bounce over to the Steam page. So here is the brand new Steam page for Vertigo 2, and we can see release date 2020. So we're not looking at a surprise launch timed perfectly with the Valve Index. This was something I considered, we considered this as a possible thing that could possibly sneak out timed perfectly with the arrival of the Valve Index, but that did not happen because Zach Oculus Brown, I'm not sure how to pronounce that exactly right, but he, of course, is pretty close with Valve. And he's had like Knuckles. I think he's had the Valve Index. In fact, it was on his channel where people were figuring out like what the resolution likely was going to be based on some stuff that was left on the screen accidentally, temporarily, or maybe not accidentally, But Zalubu Productions is a developer of Vertigo 2. Of course, the original game was Vertigo. Do you guys remember this original game, Vertigo? I'm a fan of Vertigo. It's an indie game. It's an indie-ass indie game, but it's kind of cool. And, it's cool characters. It's a cool idea. And I'm a fan of it. Vertigo 2, looking at the trailer, it's like, okay. Not the... I wouldn't say that's the best trailer I've ever seen. Like, but I'm interested in this. It's definitely an indie game. This is not like a AAA game by any stretch of the imagination. You're talking about a couple of people that are working on this game. This dude, Zach Oculus Brown, this guy was like 17 years old a couple years ago when he was making the original Vertigo. I don't know how old he is now. He might be like 20 years old now by now, but really young dude, made a pretty cool game, and Vertigo 2 looks like it's going to be pretty cool as well. Just some quick information about the game. Vertigo 2 is a single-player adventure built from the ground up as a game for high-end VR. Deep underground in the reaches of Quantum Reactor 7, you awake to finish your journey home, no closer to your goal than when you first arrived. So that's pretty much probably continuing from the previous story. Native Valve Index support, teleportation, smooth locomotion, etc., etc. Ray-traced audio. Spatial ray-traced audio using Steam audio tech. Oh, that's pretty good. I wonder how many new games are going to use that, the ray-traced audio, which that's pretty sweet. Okay, let's go ahead and bounce back over here. But yeah, before we found out about this Vertigo trailer that I wasn't expecting, we were talking a little bit about the Valve Index. And yeah, a lot of people seem to be getting their Valve Indexes, especially in the UK. Gary got his, only played it for a brief window of time. So he hasn't had a lot of time with it. I believe he said it felt very comfortable. It looked pretty clear. He wasn't able to completely check the God rays. Like, that's one of the things that he really wanted to check out is the God rays. And Gary is somebody that gets bothered by God rays. Like, he's very bothered by God rays. So if the Valve Index has a legitimate God rays problem, Gary's probably gonna really, he's gonna notice it. He's gonna talk about it. It's probably gonna bother him quite a bit, but that might not be too much of an issue. So he hasn't seen that part yet. He's gonna try a bunch more games and get a better feel for the God rays. Yeah, so Shiny Robot VR says, Gary won't like the glare, not God rays, really. Okay, so it's more glare than God rays? Maybe that won't be too bad. But yeah, the Valve Index is arriving at a lot of people's places already, which is really cool. I don't know if I'm going to get a Valve Index or not. Oh, the Oculus Daily Deal. We can talk about that real quick. So let's go ahead and bounce back over here to the webinar. And we do have an Oculus Daily Deal. I'm going to have to go over to the Rift. So let's go over to the Rift side of the thing. And here it is. The Daily Deal is duck season. And this is the developer of freaking Boneworks. These are the guys that make Boneworks. Stress Level 0. This is one of their previous games. Of course, their two big VR games that they have. Hover Junkers, which launched with the original HTC Vive launch way back like April 5th, 2016. Hover Junkers was there day and date. Hover Junkers was expected to be this really big thing. I don't know that it really took off in a major way, but, you know, pretty successful in the very, very early days of the HTC Vive. Maybe a little bit expensive for Hover Junkers for a long time. Like, you kind of had to pay quite a bit of money to get Hover Junkers. It wasn't one of the cheaper games. Duck Season is their follow-up game, and it is available right now on the Oculus Store for $15, 25% off. You got 7 hours left in that. Of course, all of this is happening while we have one of the more incredible Steam sales that are out there. And you really probably want to bounce over to Steam, and there's probably a lot better deals to be had over there on Steam. Duck Season is decent. I just wanted to bring it up because they are the Bonework guys, and we still haven't heard anything about Boneworks as far as that goes. So Underwater VR. Have you guys checked this out? Let's go back over here to our standard scene. Sorry, I'm getting lost in my OBS. Here we go. Yeah, so I saw this video where somebody goes underwater and they're playing VR underwater. And I thought, you know what? It's just a matter of time. Let me see if I can find this underwater thing. Let's see. Yeah, okay, here we go. This is in China. Damn, I don't have it formatted right. But yeah, so here's a guy. This guy is swimming around in VR. He's wearing a VR headset, and the VR headset is pretty much submerged. I don't know exactly how they're doing this, but imagine if you could have like full body tracking and you have a waterproof headset and you could have some incredible underwater Subnautica-like adventure where you're literally swimming in VR, because that's what this guy's doing. Pretty crazy. So I just happened to see that somewhere, and I thought it was kind of cool. Let's see, were there any other trailers I need to pop on the screen here? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's basically it. So let me just go ahead and throw this, get this lined up so we're in business like this. But yeah, somebody was trying some underwater VR. I think that will be cool at a certain point in time. Hand-to-hand combat comes out on the Valve Index tomorrow. We can take a quick look at that. It's one of these games that is going to be trying to take full and total advantage of the Valve Index controllers. Let me see if I can find this hand-to-hand combat footage. Here we go. And let's just check it out right here. Yes, so that is hand-to-hand combat. It is coming out tomorrow on Steam. And let's bounce over to the webinar. Here it is, hand-to-hand combat. So this is launching on June 28th. And basically, it's kind of in the news because it does really take advantage of the index controllers. Like you're pointing your fingers. You're basically doing everything with your hands. And you're doing all kinds of things with your hands. And so pretty much what this developer decided to do is said, okay, I got a pair of Valve index controllers. I'm going to try to take full and total advantage of anything that I could possibly get away doing with these Valve index controllers. But I don't know, it kind of seems almost like a little bit of a cash grab to me, you know, like it's just kind of timing it with the launch of the Valve index, and it has some like basic controller support where it takes advantage of the Valve index. It kind of almost has this Boneworks looking kind of graphic design to it too, you know, kind of the whole Matrix thing and a little bit Boneworks. And so anyway, that game is coming out tomorrow. So that is in the news as well. But you know what? That's pretty much all I got. Let's see if there's anybody in chat and if anybody's talking about anything. Yeah, Gerillo says it looks like bar fight or whatever that is. Yeah, it does. It kind of looks like drunken bar fight a little bit in terms of like, and the ragdoll physics. It kind of reminds me of, what was that game? Mosh Pit Simulator. Kind of looks a little bit like Mosh Pit Simulator. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, so not much else is going on. But yeah, that is hand-to-hand combat. Alrighty, so let's see here. What do I need to do? Let me grab my outro logo. Alrighty, guys. Well, you know what? That's pretty much going to do it for this particular episode of VR 365 Live. Kind of a boring episode. We didn't have a lot of really major news stories, a lot of juicy stuff to get into. We did talk about the Xbox rumor, the Xbox Scarlet Oculus Rift S rumor that Rendered Reality reported on. We talked about that a little bit earlier in the show. I personally believe that it is not happening. I would be very, very shocked. I'm not going to eat an Xbox controller if it does happen, but I would be very, very shocked. My final thought on that whole thing is they both want their own walled garden. So I don't see the connection. They both want their own walled garden, so I don't see why they do this. The only logical thing is that Microsoft would use it as a Band-Aid so that they don't have to spend a bunch of money making a very... But they've got they've got wired headsets, and Phil Spencer was always talking about wireless. It'd be one thing if the Rift S was like this wonderful wireless solution, and they're like, oh, Oculus has this wonderful wireless solution. Let's use that rather than trying to make our own thing and spending all this money in research and development and all of that. That might make a little bit of sense, but this ain't wireless. The Rift S is wired, and Phil Spencer, when he was in an interview a couple of years ago, he was like, the Xbox is a living room product, and in the living room, VR should be wireless. So I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it for this particular episode of VR 365 Live. I will, of course, be back tomorrow, and we will be back on YouTube tomorrow. So be sure to go ahead and find us over at YouTube tomorrow, and we will be back on Twitch this Sunday. So Sunday, following our VR Roundtable episode, there will be a live stream on Twitch, probably around 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, maybe a little bit later than that, because it could be a very long VR Roundtable this Sunday, because Gary's going to be talking all about the Valve Index, Steve is going to be talking all about the Valve Index, and me and Chris are just going to be crying over in the corner because neither of us are going to have a Valve Index prior to Sunday. So we won't have our thoughts on that. But yeah, I'll see everybody tomorrow on YouTube and back on Twitch on Sunday. So see you guys then. Everybody have a good one. Take it easy.